Well, good morning, everybody, and here I am in my house, in my living room, and I decided that I'm going to do bar here for you guys because that's where you are, in your house, and it's easy and convenient, and because I was told by one of my sons that, he doesn't have a bar to follow me through when I'm using a bar. So I told him that you can use anything as a bar, and I'm going to use my tabletop right here as my bar. But you can use the back of a chair or anything that you have in your house, your kitchen countertop. And I'm wearing my socks because that's what I have. And it will help me actually to wear my socks while I do bar because I'll have to rely on my muscles to hold my turnout and my placement instead of digging my feet and turning them out and using my joints, which we don't want to do. Okay, so I'm going to try to go through this quickly. I talk a lot to my dancers as we do bar. And because I'm doing bar, which I don't usually demonstrate for my older dancers, and I don't usually do bar for several reasons, and I'm not making excuses, because of my age, because I have a screw in my back, because I have a shattered foot, because I had a meniscus tear in my knee, I've used and abused my body. So I try to teach my dancers to take care of their bodies like my generation did not as young people. They have the opportunity of advanced medicine and knowledge to take care of theirs. So, that being said, I want to say a few things, reminders to my dancers and to those of you that are following me about things we need to be aware of as we're doing bar and as we dance in general. The first thing that I do when I come into class is we start our warm-up stretches, which you guys have already gotten that video. And when I do that, I walk to the bar and I start my stretches and I say to all my dancers, okay guys, guess what? And they all roll their eyes and they say, yes, Miss Kelly, we know what? We know you love ballet. And I say, yes, I do. It brings me so much joy and goodness and has my entire existence. And that's my moment of gratitude for the art of ballet and what it's gifted me in this world with and me being able to share with my dancers. So that's kind of a ritual that I have. Okay, the bar. The bar is not to hold you up. The bar is there to help you do a few things before you go into the center of the room and you dance. It's a daily routine that all dancers, ballet dancers, must do. It's a part of our training, and the purpose of the bar is to do a few things. Number one, it's to help you to find your placement. That's the right place within your body and your body being connected to the floor so that you can carry that forward. And into your dancing, it's important to have the correct placement. It's to warm your body up. It's to warm your muscles up. And the bar is there to help support you while you do these things, while you work on your technique, while you find your placement, while you warm up your body. That's what the bar is there for. It's not there to hold you up, so you should never at any moment be leaning on the bar. You should just have your hand lightly on top of the bar, and that's it, your entire hand. We don't wrap our hand around the bar because we don't want to come to the center with our hand like this, right? We want our hand to be long and lengthened. So it's just to rest our hand there to give us light support as we find our placement, find our balance, warm up our body, work on our technique. Your hand should be placed in front of you on the bar, not to the side of you and not to the back of you, because if it's to the side or the back of you, it's going to make you go back. You don't ever want your weight to go back and your back to be arched, off your placement, off your center. So your arms should be a little bit in front of you, your elbows should be slightly bent, so that you're a good distance and can be right on top of your legs and you're not leaning in one direction or the other and you're not on top of the bar. Your weight should be on top of your legs and it should be lifted and forward in your chest. Your weight should never be back. You have control when you're forward, just for you to know where you have control. Where you're forward, you can use your core and find your balance. Anytime your weight is on top of your legs and a little bit forward. When your weight's back, you cannot do that. So know those things. Hand on top of the bar, a little bit in front of you, your weight lifted over the balls of your feet, and you're forward. Next thing we need to be reminded of is, where is our weight? Our weight is always on the balls of our feet. That doesn't mean that your heels are not on the floor, but your weight is not in your heels. You should not be standing where you can pick your toes up. All of your weight should be on the balls of your feet at all times. Once again, you have control there. You have balance, you have placement. So keep your weight on the balls of your feet, even when your entire foot is on the floor. And check that. Check your balance. Check that you're pushing down and using resistance. Resistance is very, very important. Tell my dancers, without resistance, nothing has value. You have to create your own resistance. The only resistance that we actually have that we can use in the physical world is the floor that we can push against, and gravity pushing down against us, which isn't that great, really. So we have to create our own resistance, and that gives whatever we're doing value. So create your own resistance when you need be. Ballet, everything is based on turnout. We turn out our legs for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's all about the line, right? So when we turn out our legs, we have a much better line and picture that we create than when our legs are turned in. That is not an attractive line. There's lots of things happening that bring us to a not good line. So rotate your legs. Rotation and turnout, people tend to think, I'm going to turn out my legs from my feet. You don't turn out your legs from your feet. Your turnout everything comes from your core, and we're going to talk about core in a minute. But your rotation happens in your hip socket, right there, right? So you can pick your foot up off the floor and you can find that rotation in your leg. You have to think of that rotation starting from your hips, and it's going to spiral down like a barbershop pole does, and that rotation happens all the way down and continues out of your foot. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. That rotation and turnout. You don't turn out from your joints. That's where you get pain. If you ever feel pain in joints, that means you're working incorrectly. Ballet, yes, you should feel your muscles working, and muscles working is different than pain. It's a positive, good thing to feel your muscles shake and work and get tired. That means they're getting stronger. So, rotate from the top, spiraling down all the way through your leg, all the way through your big toe, little toe coming around. Your heel should come up, and that line continues spiraling out into infinity. We hold our turnout from every muscle contributing to that, for that part of the leg, and it's held with our rear end. So wrap it around. I don't like to say squeeze your rear end because that's a shortening and a tightening, but it is a tightening. But that's where we hold our rotation, is in our rear end. So that has to be pulled up and lifted as we spiral down. Okay, let's talk about our core for a moment. Your core is the center of the universe. I tell my little people that in class all the time. That's where everything comes from, your core. So consider it a big ball of energy here in your center, and it's shooting out that energy through every part of your body, through every end of your body. So it goes out of the top of your head, it goes out of your fingertips, it goes out of your toes, it goes out of your heels when they're on the floor, it goes out of your hips, it goes out of your chest, out of your back, so that you're sending out all this energy from your core. It's your energy, so powerful. If you don't shoot that energy out from your core and everything doesn't stem from your core, then energy stops, right? And then nothing has value and nothing has life in it. So meaning, if I don't have that energy come from my core, go through me, go out my fingertips, and go to infinity, then that energy stops. My arm has no life. It has no value. It has no life force, and it's not connected to my core, which every part of you should be connected. So feel that energy go from your core, come through the top of your head, so that keeps you lifted, and then it's going to go down through your toes. So you feel that pull and that lengthening. Everything